Alright folks, welcome back. I am Shipwreck Sean, and we are on episode 15 of Let's Play Sailwind, and part 4 of going eastward. And of course, for part 4, much like part 3, we're going northward, or northeastward, trying to reach that 33-degree latitude line, where the wind will be behind us, and then we can absolutely fly ourselves eastward. That's the plan anyway. Of course, when you load in Sailwind, all your sails are brought up. So off camera, I've readjusted the gaff, and I've opened up the inner jib again. And I'd like to go and have a look at the wind direction if I can get through. So we still have a full beam reach coming in windward across our starboard side, which would tell me we're not quite at the 33 degree line yet. To update from the previous episode, this is where we think we are. I say think because I'm learning to navigate as I go eastward across the ocean, and let's just say I am no expert yet, but we're giving it a go. I'm debating in my head whether I might try some snake oil to start this episode off with, because I've not tried it yet. I've used energy elixir before, but I wouldn't mind sleeping through the night. What time is it? It is just bang on midnight, which means we could have taken our Witena reading. There's Witena there. Can we get a slightly accurate reading off that? I would say just below 34 degrees there for Witena. Slightly off time. But looking at my trusty notepad, that would suggest we're between 0 and 1 degree longitude, which would be quite good. It would mean our previous reading is not that great. I promise you all, I haven't done much sailing at all when I reloaded the game. My energy level was probably about here, so I reloaded the game, I set the sails, and then I slept so that my energy level was full. Because as I say, I wanted to give the snake oil a try. But if we've made it to between 0 and 1 degree longitude, if our reading is correct, that would tell me that we're somewhere over here. Which I'm not too sure is correct. Either that or we completely messed up the last reading. Well, somewhere over here, sorry. So Sailwind is very good, as I say, as a game for leaving you guessing. But with that, we will take that reading with a grain of salt. Can we see the North Star anywhere? Maybe that'll help us, at least with our latitude. The jib's in the way, and I don't fancy fighting the jib. So check if we're keeping course, which we are. I'm going to neck some snake oil. Okay, so that's what snake oil does. Top up our water, smash the clock, and hope that we sleep through the night. So I will go and attempt that now, and I'll be back with you guys when we have fully slept. Okay, so we haven't quite fully slept. We're heading in a slightly more northeasterly direction. Does that mean the wind has changed? I think it's only changed because we've gone slightly off course. But I'm not too bothered by that. I've woken up to going off course way worse in my Sailwind career. So I'll just make a few micro adjustments and then I'll check the time. It is 6 o'clock, so we have missed our 5:20 in the morning Oriens reading. And we've still got quite a bit to go before we can make our noon reading. I don't want to use another bottle of snake oil just yet. So I'm tempted to just sleep through that last bit of energy and try and get us closer to noon. But for now, we'll just hold course north a touch. I won't be making, as I say, any readings at this point in time, but I will fill up on some dried bread. Our Shipwreck Sean character has slept a lot better than Shipwreck Sean in real life. I was at a rugby game yesterday and it took all the energy out of me, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I wasn't playing, I was just watching, but all those crowds and all that shouting, and it was amazing experience, but I am still absolutely knackered. And I think just being excited for that game for weeks and weeks, now that it's gone and done, I'm just feeling a little bit of, don't know what the word would be. We'll call it relaxation, with a slight bit of apprehension. Right, so I think we've got our gaff, how we want our gaff to be. So now it's just making sure there's not too much wind in our jibs. And we'll know there's too much wind if this pin starts to cross over north. But I think we're okay actually. Yep, I think I will risk a second danger nap at 7 in the morning. Hopefully we don't sleep past noon. And I'll be back with you guys at that point. Right, we've woken up. And would you look at that, we're about to hit noon. So I'm quite happy with that. So get our sundial ready, where we can see that and the clock. And try and get a good reading. It looks to me like surely we're getting close to that 33 latitude line. But I'm focused more on longitude right now. Waiting for that longitude to, on average, pass over the centre line. It's now 5 to 12. We're doing a lot of rocking about though, so it's going to be hard to make a reading. It's swaying back and forwards. Okay, I'm going to call it about there, which is pretty much bang on 12, maybe just a touch before. So it would tell us that we're certainly in the positive longitude. Are we still heading in the right direction? Kind of. So I will turn us more northeasterly. She's turning quite slowly, so we'll need to optimize our speed a little bit. Right, that's the direction I want to be going in. Oh, and that's close hauling. Right, okay, so the wind is changing slightly for us. I'm going to pull in this gaff completely, which already is, and it looks like we're dead in the water. So that will give us another bit of sailing exercise. So we're going to drop our gaff, and we are going to pull in the outer jib. And I'm going to release the pressure on this inner jib. We are northwards, so I'm going to haul the helm to port so that we start reverse turning to starboard. And I will wait for the wind to catch that jib. And when it does, I will straighten up the helm and haul up our gaff. It looks like we're about to catch a touch there. So now I'm going to straighten up the helm, open up our gaff, and hopefully we should be doing some close haul sailing now. I'm going to pulling the winch a touch on the leeward side there, or well, now the windward, and head back and try and get a bit of forward momentum. I might have done all that just a bit too early, but it looks like the waves are hopefully going to help us out. Because I'd rather not spend this entire episode being in chains or in irons. Yeah, it looks like she's turning slightly, which is good. So we're not going to be able to sail direct north anymore. So now we're going to be balancing between northeast and I would say east is our most extreme we want to go, because we want to be headed generally northward here. Right, how's that looking? Yep, not making an awful lot of speed. Right, so I would say that when we did our noon reading, we were at about 33 degree latitude, at least on the line. And then if it was pretty much noon, then that would tell me 0 degrees longitude. She's turning northward again. Oh, I'm having a real tough time of it now. I was going to make a reading on our interactive map, but more importantly, let's just get her moving. I'm going to release our outer jib as well. See if that might help. And it might make us turn eastward too much. But eastward is better than northward, it would seem, at this point in time. So to make a very quick reading, I would say we were around 0 on 33. So I think we are about here. So as long as we keep going a touch east-northeast, hopefully we will soon find the wind completely behind us and we will be absolutely flying. We're turning slightly east. I can't pull in the gaff anymore, so I think I will release our jibs just a touch so the wind doesn't catch them too much. And then we'll keep an eye on our heading now. And that looks a bit better for me. It is choppy waves. But for now, I am happy with that. So, yeah. I don't think I'd like to... In fact, I'm going to have an orange slice just in case. Just to keep that nutrition at bay. And we will just keep an eye for a wee while. And then I think I'll use some more snake oil. My main focus now is staying awake for noon rather than celestial navigation. Just at least until we know we are at the right latitude. And then when we're headed eastward, with the wind behind us, I'll be focusing a lot more on our celestial navigation. Oh, it's tough seas out there. I have started a little Instagram page for this channel. So if you're so inclined, you're welcome to go and follow that. You'll get it in the description or on my channel homepage. I'm not quite ready for all the other social medias just yet, but if anyone's interested in doing that and they prefer a different type of social media, just let me know and I will get one set up. I would like to be posting all things nautical. So not necessarily just to do with Sailwind. And as I say, at some point in the distant future, I'm going to be trying other games. There is already a game I have in mind for a little bonus video. It won't be a let's play, but there is a particular sailing game out right now, and they currently have a demo for that, and I would quite like to demo that game because it's meant to be quite similar to Sailwind. The reason I'm being cagey about the name right now is because I've actually forgotten it, which is terrible. Okay, she's holding that east-northeast course pretty well. So how much snake oil do we have? We have 5. I wonder if, can we buy more snake oil when we get to the Emerald Archipelago? Hopefully someone picks up on that question and can comment that in the comments, because I've never been there. I don't know if we can or not. But I suppose if we can't, when we are sailing back to the Alank Archipelago, we'll just have to do it without our our medical help, medical assistance. But I would like to do some sailing in and around the Emerald Archipelago. I mean, we do need to drop off at Newport as well as Dragon Cliffs. So at least we've got that to start us. I'm thinking Dragon Cliffs first. Drop that off and sell what goods, what dates we have. And then pick up a little mission to Newport for a little bit of fun. But folks, before we do that, we need to get there first. So I won't get too ahead of myself. And the reason I went off in that little monologue is because with 5 left, I don't think right now is the correct time to be using it. Because once we've got the wind behind us, we just need to get a perfect course. And then we can snake oil ourselves all the way to about 3 or 4 longitude, and then head down in our southeasterly direction. So for those of you who are perhaps just tuning in, the plan is catch this easterly wind behind us, sail right along till we get to 3 or 4 longitude, and then cut down at southeast. And I'm hoping by the time we get to about here, we should see maybe some peaks from the islands. Fingers, toes, and everything else crossed. How's the wind looking? Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's turning into a bit of a beam reach. So that would tell us our plan seems to be almost kind of maybe working. I'm sure you could hear complete confidence in that. We're coming up for 5 PM, so the next reading we'll be able to take will be Witena, I believe, at 7 PM. So I think we'll hold off until then before we do our napping. And since we're not using snake oil, I will fill our guts the traditional way. The ungodly pile way. The sea seems to be a bit kinder to us now than it was at the start of the episode. I thought it was going to be a choppy episode, and it still is slightly, but I think this is pretty standard for the ocean. See, we've created a little hole. You can see where I tend to go for my for my bread consumption. It's looking like I can think about opening up the gaff soon. But I think we're a wee bit away from that for now. We are at 6 o'clock. So Milnead is always going to be to our west and then just a wee touch off west. So we're going to be looking roughly in this direction. When we start to see a star around here, we will take a quadrant reading, cross-reference that with the trusty notepad. And hopefully that might be a bit more accurate than our last one. But we've made a plot already, which I didn't expect to get this early in the episode, so I'm taking that as a complete win. My good friend Aiko Loco, they currently, well, they upgraded their sails for the Dow in their Let's Play, in their series, and they've gone for the smaller gaff, the gaff that was kind of cut down the middle. And I'm not going to lie, folks, I'm starting to kind of wish I did the same. But I think when we are downwind sailing, that bigger gaff is going to make quite a bit of difference. So we'll stay happy with our configuration for now. Just keeping an eye on the wind here. She's maybe ever so slightly making a very slow turn to eastward. So I think I will let out just a touch of each winch. Just the tiniest of little touches. And if I just... Nope, I thought I'd yapped myself past 7 o'clock there. But we're getting close now. So since we're looking in a different direction, I'm going to take the clock with me. West. And then I believe that will be Witena there. Hopefully. It might be that one, but I'm sure Witena was the smaller one. So we'll wait until this hand hits 7 o'clock and we will take our reading. 10 Sailwind minutes to go. And then once we've got that reading, I think we will just sleep through, because it's a wee bit of time to wait before the 12 o'clock reading. Right, so that's getting pretty close. So I'll take a reading now. I would say just underneath 17 degrees for Witena. So turn the light on so I can roleplay in checking my notepad, whilst also really checking my notepad. Well, I'm not going to lie, folks. I think I've messed that one up. Because 7 degrees would suggest -2 latitude. Am I just reading the thing wrong? Okay, I can't go back. I can't wait to go back and watch that, because I think I completely messed that one up big time. Because I don't think we're -2 whatsoever. I mean, -2 would take us back here. And I don't believe that for a second. So perhaps it's worth me off camera opening up a different save and really practicing my celestial navigation, because I messed that one up big time. Unless, of course, it wasn't Milnead, sorry, that I was looking at. I think I was saying Witena. Off to not such a great start with celestial navigation in this episode. So yeah, I think I will now head to sleep and see if hopefully we wake up with the wind closer to being behind us. So I'll see you all in a second. Whoa, okay, we've woken up. It's choppy. The wind is not quite behind us, but what direction are we heading in? Still pretty perfect there for what I was wanting. Be able to see our North Star better now, so follow the M for Mike. Go one down. Quadrant, so it's right on it. Oh, we are moving around quite a lot, so it's going to be hard to get this accurately. 1, 2. So I'd say about 31 and a half there. Maybe all of my readings have just been completely off. Because I would think we're a lot closer to 33 by now. What on earth is going on, folks? Well, you can't argue with that. But then that would suggest we've drifted southwards. Where the hell are we? Okay, turn the light on, as if that's going to help me. Well, I'm at a bit of a loss, folks. Maybe this is that lack of sleep. Because 31 would say we're like down here again. And I don't think we are. It's moments like this I wish Coupling Rhino was sat right next to me. Made a little seat out of dates here. Could be sat there telling me what the hell I'm doing wrong. So maybe it was too bouncy. Maybe the sea's too bouncy for me to get an accurate reading. Finish the M. It's the next one down. And that's saying 31. Oh boy. Well, we're committed now, and I have no idea where I am. But at no point have I been drifting south or anywhere south of east. So I have not a Scooby-Dooby what on earth is happening there. But it's certainly user error. Have some soggy bread. I am desperate for noon now. As I say, I cannot wait to watch this episode back. And hopefully I'll have a little eureka moment and work out what on earth is happening. Hop over. And it's 2 in the morning, so can't make any other readings until 20 past 5. Which is a wee while away. I think I'll just sleep off that last little bit of energy. And maybe use the time to give myself a slap in real life. So yeah, I'll be back shortly. Alright, so we have woken up. Still heading relatively northeastward. Still at a beam reach, whilst heading northeastward. So the wind is not quite behind us yet. I thought we would surely be at 33 degrees by now. But I suppose that is the pressure of the open sea. There's our M. Let's try this again. Moving around quite a lot. Well, that looks more like 34 now. What am I doing? A bit there. And oh, that's below 30. Yeah, I think it's just too choppy for me to get a decent reading. That's what I'm going to blame. I'm going to blame the water. It's not me. It's not a skill error. No chance. Where's Bonnie when you need her? She would have this sorted within seconds. The time is currently coming up for 5 o'clock. So we'll be able to look eastward and check our Oriens as well. So where's east? Eastward is going to be, I think that might be Oriens just through the jib there. So we're waiting for 20 past. And I'll check our readings of Oriens. I'm not full of confidence that it's going to be accurate, because we're not off to a very great start with our navigation in this episode. I think it's because I've had a few days off. Right, okay, that's 20 past. And that's reading at 5 degrees. Do that another once. 5 degrees we're getting for Oriens. And if I cross-reference that with my notepad, 5 degrees is reading 0. So 5 degrees, and I'm going to choose to believe the... In fact, I'm not going to choose to believe anything. So 5 degrees being 0 would suggest we're still on this line, despite sleeping through it, so this reading was probably wrong. But surely we've got the wind behind us at this point, like... Unless we're still somewhere around here. I mean, it seems to be slightly behind us. Like, I suppose the best way of checking, actually, is to turn eastward. And see how it looks there. Okay, right. Heading eastward. Oh, folks, ladies and gents, and everyone else. That is... Okay, right. Right. Oh, I'm probably shouting too much for the microphone. Sorry, folks. But... Okay, I'm going to take that. We want the wind. Open that up as much as possible. I'm going to open up our outer jib so the wind's right behind us. I'm going to try and haul the inner jib in, see if the wind will catch it on the other side. And then release that. Nope, it's not wanting to catch quite on the other side just yet. So that's fine. We will release both jibs on this side for now. And then for the first time in our eastward voyage, open up the topsail. Okay, right, slight sigh of relief there. Because I think looking at the wind there, the wind direction, so the wind is blowing southeast, well, east-southeast. And looking here, it should be east-northeast, but it's still behind us. So I'm just going to bank it east as much as I can until noon. But, I mean, that looks like we're really moving now, which I'm happy with. I would like at least one of my jibs to be on the other side, but don't think that's too possible at this point in time. All right. Whew. Let's try our chip log. Because it feels like we're moving quickly. Oh, yeah. Nice. Okay, that was a very apprehensive start, folks. For those who have made it this far, I applaud you. I nearly never made it this far. I thought it was time to go for a shipwreck Sean nap in real life. But I'm going to take that. We needed a little confidence boost, I think. And with great speed brings great confidence. So I'll wait for noon, get a reading, and then think about what I would like to do. Although the wind is now at a bit more of... Yeah, so it's not directly behind us, is it? But that's alright because it's hitting the gaff perfectly. And we're going directly east, so I can't really complain about that. And I'm just not going to overthink it. The time is currently coming up for 8 in the morning. I'm wondering if a nap will be too dangerous now to bring me to noon. And if it's worth just enjoying this whilst we have it. Phew, though. So basically, because I was heading northeast, we were stuck on a beam reach, but of course that's going to happen. Just overthinking it, I think. And then with our god-awful celestial navigation, panic was really starting to set in. I think I can say with some confidence that we weren't at -2 longitude. I'm hoping someone chimes in comments and lets me know what on earth I was doing there. But for now I'm quite happy with this. I'd like to still be heading northward a touch. Just as I say that, we hit a wave that turns me more towards east. But waves are okay. We like waves. Wind still going east-southeast. I mean, is this an exact science? Or is this like on average? Do these change around? I'm not sure. But as I say, I just want to take a noon reading. And that will give me a slight bit more confidence. I'm hoping that the waves will be less bouncy when I take the noon reading. Just so I can take it with a bit more accuracy. Because it was really hard to get. I suppose I was holding the sundial in this direction. Maybe it's better if I'm facing like directly where the sun's going to be. Because if I'm holding it to its side, of course it's going to bob around. So we'll be sure to do that. Can we hold the sundial whilst also... Yes, we can hold the sundial with the clock up and our menu. So what we really want to be doing is holding the sundial, facing noon, looking down, and then with the clock there. And that'll help us read our longitude way more accurately. Because as I say, it was bobbing around, and we don't like bobbing. Oh, I can breathe a bit. Right, 30. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter. Stuck up on water. And we'll go and kill some time with the ungodly pile. Which seems to have served us pretty well. To do an inventory check, we still have all of our sunspot fish. We still have our fishing rod. Still got a half decent amount of bread left in the ungodly pile. And worst comes to absolute worst, we are transporting dates to sell. So we can eat some of those if it comes to it. Nice. Our boat's looking quite clean from the last episode, except from around here. Because as I say, from a role-playing perspective, I really don't want to be brushing our bread. You got to role-play a little bit, right? Yeah, I like how the wind's hitting our jibs. I don't know if I'm supposed to turn the topsail so that it hits the wind better. But I like to keep the topsail relatively straight, just to keep a little bit of like a direct forward momentum. But look at that trail, look at that wake behind us. If that doesn't signify speed, I don't know what does. Try and get something screenshotable with our first ever opportunity to open up all the sails. I was hoping for a better screenshot with one of the jibs on the other side, but things don't go to plan in this series, as I'm sure you've all worked out by now. It is 10:30 in the morning, so we are just patiently waiting for noon. I don't think I actually stated a number when I was running the chip log last. As I say, I just generally take a bit of an average. I think we've slowed down slightly, but that looks to me like about 7 knots. I think we were getting highs of way above 8 when I last checked, but that will do. That will do for now. So yeah, pretty chuffed. We are on day 37 and we set sail on day 31. So far so good. Oh, sorry folks, I know I'm probably quieter than usual, but I'm just I'm just engaging in some breathing exercises. Whilst hopefully the mic doesn't pick that up too much. Because this is supposed to be a relaxing series of Sailwind that I'm recording here. But we're keeping easterly. I think at some point I would like to adjust a bit further north, see if the wind will go in a bit more of a northeasterly direction for us. Not that it would make that... Oh! Has the sea changed colour? Oh! Okay, right, I don't want to be too distracted because we're coming up for 12 o'clock, but the sea just seemed to change. It's beautiful. It's a lovely green. Or I guess you could say emerald. Right, okay. Panicky start, but so far everything is affirming positivity now. So we just need to find out our longitude, and then I think we're just doing this. Oh, nice. So I'm not too sure if that means if that just means we've left the Archipelago seas, or if it shows you this when you have entered the sort of Emerald Archipelago seas. You would think the latter, right? Because it is matching the colour. But okay. In fact, no, I'll get a screenshot with the green sea once I've done our dial reading. So we're going to get the dial at the ready. And we want to face south. To me that's now, which is 4 minutes to, which would tell me we're at longitude 1. Looking at our latitude, it's not quite 34, but I think we're beyond 33 now. So I'm going to say maybe 1, 2, 3, just a touch over 33. So 1 degree longitude, just above 33 latitude. So I think we're roughly here. And I suppose that means we're beyond halfway. So it's just going to be snake oiling, really. And I have decided, folks, that because that has brought me a little bit of fun and confidence, that I owe it to you guys to keep that going. So we're going to have a slightly longer episode this time. At one point, I thought this was going to be about 15 minutes long when I was starting to panic, but I'm going to enjoy this. The wind is not quite fully behind us anymore, though. And in fact, it's a bit of a beam reach, so we're going to haul that gaff in a touch. And we'll keep heading slightly northwards. So we'll head east-northeast. And we'll just keep an eye on the wind for a touch and see if that moves for us. Our jibs can come in. To about there. Maybe we can turn our square sail round just to catch that a touch better. And we'll just head in this direction for a wee bit. Try and get something nice and screenshotable with the green emerald seas. Isn't she lovely? So yeah, I feel like snake oil would be a bit of a waste right now, considering we have full water and hunger bars. So we're going to go for a daytime nap and see if we might try some celestial navigation. So I think I'm going to have a bit more of a comfortable sleep this time. And I will see you all when we wake up. Good night or good day. Okay, we have woken up. It is 6 o'clock. So we'll be able to take our Milnead reading. So we'll prepare to look west when it gets to the time. It looks like the wind is slightly more behind us, as we're still headed on that kind of northeasterly direction. Can't really see the green seas anymore because it is getting dark. I think we can use our lanterns a bit more liberally now, because we've still got 2 left, and if I'm not mistaken, we're beyond halfway. And we should get there with pretty decent speed now. I might be sounding overconfident there. And hopefully we can get the right star this time. And in fact, it's been a while. We're going to take an immersion breaking pause here. And we're going to check, where is it? Navigation. Reject those cookies. Head down to, where's the stars? Where is it? I can't see it. I am blind. Finding latitude and longitude. Milnead, here we go. So exactly 7 PM, Milnead should be looking west, just south of west, and it's not the one above it. So we were looking at the correct star. So we will close down our immersion breaking pause for now and head back in. Nice. Right, so it is 6:45. So I'm going to get ready and try and find Milnead. There we are, looking west. And there's Milnead. It's not quite south of west, I suppose, but maybe that's because we have headed up more northward than we usually go. So we're going to get our quadrant ready, wait for 7, and try to get a more accurate reading of Milnead. We're bobbing around, but that is 7 o'clock. That was reading 15. And we'll do Osha. We'll do one more for good luck. And okay, we're getting 3 lots of 15 there. And looking at my notepad, that tells me 0 degrees longitude. And I thought we were on 1. So perhaps we are somewhere between 0 and 1. My noon reading wasn't completely perfect, so I'm going to bop us about here, with of course the wrong tool. I'm going to bop us about here. Oh my word. There we go. And there we are. So next reading will be midnight. So I think if I sleep through until that point, we'll be able to do that. I'm not going to bother with dealing with hunger or anything. Turn off our lanterns, and I'll see you guys when I wake up. Alrighty, we have woken up. I've turned on the lantern. Still headed kind of in the direction we want to go, and it's coming up for midnight. So when we reach midnight, we want to follow the North Star constellation, out, along and up, then follow the bow, and it's conveniently going to be the star that's hidden by the sails. So for our Witena reading, I'm going to turn us facing eastward and hope that that allows us to see Milnead a wee bit better. The wind is behind us again, so I can open up the sheet. I can't exactly see the direction of the wind there, but that's okay because we can now see Witena. Since I've released the... Okay, well that's complete release, so don't... Release the 2 jib sheets. Still got all sails open. Turn on our light here to glow our lovely bread. And we've got an hour to wait until it is midnight. So of course that means it's time for some bread. I'm not sure how long I'm going to make this episode. I might even make it a big bonanza episode. As I say, I don't really like to go beyond an hour, but we're definitely going to stretch that today. I've decided that I'd like to upload on a Wednesday and a Sunday, as I was kind of battling with that idea in the last episode. And then if I am not working too much, I would like to also upload on a Friday. But typically, you can always expect something on a Wednesday or a Sunday. And at the time of recording this episode, it is coming up for 3 o'clock in real life. Oh no, we might not get vision of Witena because there's a cloud coming over. Oh, that cloud's just disappeared. Perfect. It is 3 o'clock in real life, which means by the time this episode is edited and processed, it might be a bit later that it's uploaded, but I don't think that matters too much. What direction are we going in? We're still going east, but Witena is still proving difficult to spot with her sails, so I'm going to just oversteer a bit. Follow the boat. Oversteer a bit more, I think. And there we go, there's Witena. 10 minutes to go for Witena. And it looks to me like the wind is... Right, okay, I'm going to shut up and check Witena. That looks to be about 34, between 33 and 34 for Witena, at least in that first reading. And that's closer to 35. So between 33 and 35, I'll cross-reference the notepad. So 33 is 0 and 35 is 2. So we'll go with 1. The wind is now east-northeast, so I am pretty happy with that. And can I manage a North Star reading without messing up too much? Well, that's 33. Try that again, just to be sure. That's not 30. Excuse me. So yeah, I think the trick is to take as many as you can and get it semi-accurately. So 1 and 33. So perhaps we have steered back down in this direction. I'm sure some of you are tearing your hair out watching this, but this series is all about me learning. Just completely release the gaff now, I think. And I did see a little bit of thunder there, but that's okay. So I think this is maybe, I know I'm full of water and hunger, which I probably should have thought ahead for, but I think this is a good opportunity for snake oil, just to get through the night. Although I don't want to be going southward anymore. So we'll flip us round to our east-northeast heading. And in fact, I think we can actually just focus completely on east now. So we can release the jibs quite a bit. And there we go, we've got the jibs on the opposite side of the gaff, which is really what we want. And I'll just keep an eye and see how she's holding course for now. Right, let's get her back eastward, because that's really the course we want to be heading on. And see how she handles that. She is wanting to turn, so I might pull the gaff in a touch. The wind is so strong on the gaff, she's moving slowly, but, well, the gaff is, as I'm pulling. Right, let's get her back direct east and see how she copes with that. That is a little bit better. I think she's still drawing northward. The waves are making it very hard to assess this accurately. But it's good enough for me to get another little micro nap, I think. What time is it? Is it worth staying awake? We've got a few hours before 5:20, so we will do another nap time. See you guys shortly. Alright, we have woken up We have turned southward a touch and our gaff has moved over to the port side. So let's just adjust. Oversteer northward a touch. And I want to check the wind direction. Still, is that east-northeast still? It is indeed. Right, lots to think about. So, I think we can actually fully extend the gaff again. Yep, that looks good to me. And just keep our pointing east. Oh, it is just 20 past 5. Have I got time to find Oriens? I think I might have missed Oriens. Yeah, that's 25 past. That's alright. Turn this off as the sun is coming up a touch. There she is in all her glory. And she's still drawing slightly eastward. Sorry, still pulling slightly southward. But the wind is still going in the direction we want it to be going, so I'm not too worried about that. I suppose it's because we have all of the wind going in there. Maybe we can manipulate that a touch. And tighten our square rig on this side. And then release the square rig a touch on that side. And maybe that'll keep us more eastward. As I say, I think the gaff's just too big, perhaps. Too big and too strong. Can we perhaps pull that in a touch then? I'm not used to downwind sailing. But to be honest with you, I don't really want to fiddle too much. Oversteer to east-northeast. See how she copes with that. And I think I'm going to take another danger nap with snake oil, if I can grab some. Gulp that down. And I'll be right back with you. Alright, so we still have our beautiful Emerald Sea. We have not drifted southward this time, which has made me very happy. And it is just past 11 o'clock, so we'll be able to take a noon reading very shortly. So, all in all, I'm happy with that. Swig of water. That's 20 and that's 30, so we'll take from that side. And I'll hold off on eating bread for now. In fact, I think I've got enough time to sprint over, grab a slice or two. Okay, now we are completely focused on waiting until noon. It is 11:30, so I'm going to get our sundial ready. And we're going to wait 25 minutes. But I'm quite happy with how the snake oil worked out there. It is steadier seas, so we should get the average of when the line passes over 30 a lot better. And it seems like we're perhaps closer to 34 degrees latitude now. So maybe we should be banking southward a bit. And we have passed around, I would say between 8 minutes to and 4 minutes to. So that would translate to between 1 and 2. Oh, and I forgot the latitude reading properly. Maybe I'll see it better if I turn this way. Yeah, that's 34. So between 1 and 2 and 34 degrees longitude, latitude rather. So, what a mess. So I would say roughly about here. So perhaps we got this one wrong, because that would look like we've kept going in this direction. So our celestial navigation perhaps still letting us down a touch. But since we are between 1 and 2, we really just need to keep heading eastward now until we are more 3 to 4. Oh, I'm not sure what I want to achieve in this episode. Do we want to see land, if I can? Or do I want to get 3 and 4 and leave that as a surprise? Well, I've committed now and I'm having fun, so we are not pausing. So I believe another nap is in order. Quite happy with the sail configuration. Yep, happy with that. So I've lost count of the naps in this episode. But here comes another one. Alrighty, we have woken up. It is 4:45. Which means we're on course for taking our Milnead reading at 7. But to be honest with you folks, I think I'm going to avoid celestial navigation for now, because it just has not been working out for me, particularly in this episode. Seas are getting a bit more choppy. But we've mostly avoided storms, which I'm pretty happy with. Our snake oil has brought that down from 30 days when I last saw it to 28 days, so we've really passed some time. But I would maybe like us heading a touch more in a east-south-east direction. Just by a touch, really. Because I don't want to drift too far north. We are at a beam reach. And is that perhaps... Maybe we're going to find ourselves at the wrong islands. And so with that, we're going to pull in our gaff and adjust some sails as well. And then haul in the sheet for the square sail. In fact, no, maybe we can keep that angled actually. How are we looking? That's looking pretty good to me. It is 6 o'clock, but I really don't care too much for taking a celestial navigation reading, as I say, so I'm not too bothered about 7. Do I have any more rum? Coconut wine? I do. Oh, not much left in that bottle. We've got a full bottle here. There we go, we're celebrating. 3 empty bottles of coconut wine. Yep, looks like we're keeping that east-south-east heading. And you can actually see the energy bar dropping pretty quickly now. Have some more bread. I was tempted to celebrate with sunspot fish, but I think I'll finish our pile first, because when I do get to, well, if I do get to Dragon Cliffs, I would like as much space as I can for a sail up to Newport. And this is some good space for it. And it's going to be quite a lot of moving around. It is getting dark, so we'll turn on our lantern. We can see our vision is a little bit fuzzy, thanks to the coconut wine. So I'm thinking, hold off a touch, sleep through a bit of our energy bar. Hopefully that means we'll wake up like close to around midnight. Have some snake oil. How much do we have left? 4. Nice. And then make another noon reading. Sounds simple, right? Hopefully it stays simple. I mean, I know I just literally said I'm not going to do this, but I might as well try and find Milnead. I think you can tell we've definitely drifted a bit more northward, considering westward is off the corner of our stern here. But there's Milnead there. That's 7 o'clock. 15. Which was 0 degrees. But I think we've surpassed that. So, as I say, celestial navigation, not necessarily our friend today. Got our North Star up there. Reading at roughly 34. So yeah, we're still on the 34th latitude. So around here. So I do want to keep drifting slightly southward if I can. But I think for the little micro nap, we'll just keep the heading we're on, because I don't want to be adjusting sails in the dark. So I'll be with you guys shortly. Well, this is not good. I've woken up from our nighttime nap in the sea. Oh, there we go, we're back in the boat. Wow. As you all know, I don't save when I'm sleeping. I only save on quit. So I thought I'd lost all the progress there. We've turned more southeasterly. But that's relatively okay. So we will adjust course, and it is bang on midnight, so I will adjust our course to more east-southeast. Oh shit boy, that was worrying times there. How is the wind looking? Yep, still behind us. I don't think I've got the best sail set up at the moment, because we drifted. But a drift to southeast at this point is better than a drift in any other direction. So you know what that means, folks? Snake oil. Couple of swigs of water just to balance that out. And hopefully I don't wake up in the sea this time. And in fact... Oh, I thought it would save automatically there. You know what, we'll take the risk. We'll take the risk. I got back on the boat fairly alright there. So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the boat when I wake up. Alright, folks, so I've woken up in the boat. However, we have turned southwards. So, it's not ideal. So we definitely will want our noon reading this time. Right, got us facing east. The wind is still behind us, so I think we're still okay. I don't think we've drifted too far in our sleep. That was 2 very unlucky sleeps there. The drifting off course part, I can take full responsibility for because I didn't want to adjust my sails in the dark. However, the waking up in the sea part, I'm going to blame this early access game on, because I don't think that's much of a feature, is it? I'm going to try and get rid of some of these bottles without ending up in the water again. 1 down. It's been a while since I've littered. 2 down. And 3 down. Right, okay. Let's work out what is going on. It's a bit cloudy skies. Maybe we slept through a storm. Not entirely sure. But I'm going to wait until noon before I take any readings. And, well, obviously before I take any readings, but what I meant to say there was I'm going to wait until noon before I eat or drink, because it might be yet another snake oil opportunity. Still drifting slightly southwards, I would say. So let's use our brains here. I think I should open the gaff as much as I can. And maybe tighten the jibs. Could be completely wrong there. I'm going completely on feel as opposed to education at this point. But at this short moment in time, that looks all right to me. I suppose that's the danger with the long sleeps. But that is the risk we take. So it could be that we didn't go eastward at all during that sleep, and we have just turned southward and started drifting in that direction. But I'm hoping we've got a little bit eastward. The water looks less green. Or maybe I'm just too used to the green now. It could also be a result of the time of day it is, because it is... I mean, it is morning, I think. I hope. But she's holding her course slightly better. Still a slight turn southward, perhaps. But I'm not too sure how many more days we have with this vessel. As I say, I'll sail her around the Emerald Archipelago if I get there for a wee while. But you never know, maybe I might be able to afford one of the boats out there. But if not, I think after the sail back, again, if we make it, I will definitely be going for the sandbuck. Because I know the sandbuck sails pretty quickly, close hauled. So I believe we could make it back and forward across the ocean without our plan B. Which the plan B mostly worked for us. I think any errors that came along with plan B is purely down to me. So far it's been it's been quite the test. I've had highs and lows, moments of pure confidence, moments of pure panic. The wind is still going in the direction that we would hope it to be if we were between 33 and 34. Or perhaps even higher, because it looks like the wind doesn't change much beyond 33 and 34. So when it gets to noon, we will take our noon reading, find out exactly where we are. Hopefully we're getting close to 3 or 4. And we can actually head southeast and keep our eyes peeled for land. It is 10:30, so not too long to go. As I say, at this point I would usually kill a little bit of time by eating and drinking. However, the snake oil will deal with that. So we are just smooth sailing for now, enjoying the Emerald Sea. I don't think we are sailing optimally, but I'm taking that for now because she's roughly staying on course. And with everything that has gone wrong in this episode, I'm happy with roughly. I don't think the gaff will open up any further. So we are settling with that, folks. And we're crossing 11 o'clock, so just one Sailwind hour to go. I've never actually worked out how long a Sailwind hour is, so looking at my timer in front of me, it says 1 hour 30 minutes, which is how long this episode would be without editing out the sleeps. So I'm not too sure what the timestamp will be currently when watching the video. But if you want to follow along, I recommend skipping back to when this crosses 12 and we'll do it together. Because I'd like to know how long an hour is. And since I'm forcing my brain to do a few things at once, I'm going to prepare the sundial for our southerly check. Right, we are almost at past. There we go, and I'm reading pretty much a minute has passed. So, is it 2 minutes for every hour in this game? Maybe? Just waiting now. I think from pretty much 1:45 onwards we can start looking, waiting for this to cross, and it's getting quite close now. Seas are nice and smooth. Right, and we have crossed, and it is about 12 minutes to. I'll maybe say 10 because I tend to overcount. So 12 would be, that would be 3 degrees longitude. So I think we're maybe just before 3 degrees. And then latitude, it does look like we've come down a slight touch from 34. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to say about 33.5. So just before 3 longitude and 33.5 latitude. So just before 3 would be here, 33.5 would be here. So I think we're about here. And at this point, a perfect, what would a southeasterly heading? Well, yeah, I think we can turn southeast now. I think that would be the wise thing to do, because then we have at least one direction to stick with. So folks, we're going to take our landward turn, and then we will adjust the sails accordingly to try and hold on to that as best as we can. So there we are, southeast. How's it looking? Beam reach. So we're going to pull in our gaff. So we've got the 45 degree, roughly about there. And then how are our jibs doing? They still look alright to me. So we'll see how she holds with that. maybe a slight turn southward. So I'm going to pull in our jib sheets just so the wind catches them a bit more strongly. We're going to go back, readjust to southeast, and see how she handles that. Struggling to readjust here because of the waves and skill. Right, let's see how she's holding. So it's pretty perfect without the waves. I think we're okay with that. I really don't want to go to sleep after snake oil and wake up headed completely southward again. But I think I'm okay with that. So we'll do another snake oil. And I think, folks, in this episode we'll keep going until we see land. Might even take it a little further. Balance out the water and food a bit. Double check again. And I'm going to cheat a little bit and try and get a save. It usually saves automatically when you hit the 5-minute thing. So maybe we're not cheating too much. Maybe I'll sleep. I'll save when sleeping. And then that way we have banked. Even if we wake up in the water or having drifted, we've at least banked everything up until this point. So, yeah, sorry about that immersion breaking sleep, but I am nervous. Yeah, okay, just going to go for it. I'll see you guys when I wake up. Right, okay, we have woken up. Still relatively southeastward. Stuck up on this. Did we actually sleep long? Yeah, we must have. I think the madness is starting to hit me, folks. One, because I'm not used to speaking this long in real life and using my brain this long. Two, because I am completely in, well, if you can excuse the pun, uncharted waters. But I didn't feel like we slept as long as I would have hoped there. We are down to 2 snake oils left. And it doesn't seem like... What did I do there? I'm not sure. I thought I would wake up around night time. A little bit of a loss there, but hey ho. At least we have saved now. So I can turn that back off. This is going to be hilarious to watch back and edit. I think this video might be filled with quite a few corrections in the description. So whilst you're there checking the corrections, as I say, don't forget to have a wee look at the Instagram link if that's something you fancy. And also, you can go over the corrections with me. Please like and comment on this video, because I'm going to need all the comments and advice I can get for this one, I think. She's drifting eastward a touch, I think, so let out the jibs just a wee touch. See if that makes a difference. Yep, I'm okay with that. I'd like to kill way more time before the next noon reading. And where do we think we are? Well, if we've made it as the crow flies, about 250 nautical miles there, and we need to go another 250. I think making it to land would make this quite a long episode. So it might... I'm battling my head what I want to do. I probably should keep it in my head in case I disappoint anyone and decide not to see land in this episode. But I suppose it gives you reason to come back and watch. So I'm going to take a very big risk, and we're going to just have another snake oil, and I will wake up, kill a bit of time, probably wake up around here. So I'll take another snake oil and then wait for noon, take a noon reading, and I think I might call it there. And then that means in part 5 we will hopefully see land. Yeah, I think that's a better thing. Hopefully it gives you guys reason to want to come back after my many errors in this episode. Oh, and would you look at that, we finally have a vitamin deficiency. So our next bit of food is going to be orange. Right, see you guys shortly. Alright, we have woken up in the middle of the night. Still going relatively southeast, maybe a touch more easterly. And it is midnight, so our final snake oil and another jarring quick edit for you. See you guys hopefully before noon. Okay, well, we've definitely woken up before noon. It is 5 in the morning. We have drifted a bit more easterly now, so perhaps the wind is changing. So before I turn, I should probably go and look at that. How are we looking? Oh, jeez. That's not good. So I think we're actually close hauling now. I can't actually see the wind. Oh no, we're still... Okay, we're at a bit of a beam reach. Maybe a bit more than where we were. So I'm just hauling in the gaff to get that 45 degree. Now let's see what happens when we turn. Yeah, so we're going to be close haul sailing now, I believe. If we want to be going southeasterly. So I'm going to pull that gaff in completely. Where are we heading? We've turned back east. So I would like to drop our outer jib. Might get stuck in irons here. And bring in this jib and get rid of our topsail. It was fun whilst it lasted, wasn't it? And there we go, we're close haul sailing. And it looks like we can get away with close haul sailing, which is grand. Get ourselves a bit closer to our southeasterly direction that we want to be going in. And just see how she trundles on with that. We will do this until noon. We will make a reading. And I think that'll be that for now. So I'm really nervous about this reading because that was quite a lot of snake oiling we did. Right, okay, how's she going to hold southeast? She is turning southwards quite a hefty amount. So maybe I want to swap our jib sails actually for the larger one. Get a little luffing there, so we'll tighten her up down here. What's happening with... I don't know what the mail is doing. Am I holding on to a piece of mail? Have I just lost a piece of mail? What's happening? One mail. I think I've lost a piece of mail. It seems to be in my hand when I'm holding here, when I press C, but then when I come back out, it's nowhere to be seen. I can't remember where I put it. I think it was here. Is it in the water? Can't see. Where's it gone? So I think we're experiencing another bug here. The mail is just... We'll say it's in our inventory. But, oh, that's not good at all. We would like to be making some money. And in my panic, we have, of course, drifted. Wow. What is happening? This might be a reload situation. I mean, it's still there, but not quite where I want it to be. Oh, and now we've turned too far north. Okay, one thing at a time. Let's get ourselves going in the direction we want to be going in. And if we have lost a piece of our cargo, then so be it. It's very annoying, because I'm really not too sure what happened there. But I suppose it is what it is. Yeah, we've got Newport, but we don't have... Oh, there we go. Okay, you can go and sit on top of our bread. Wow. Okay, so holding course. I'm trying to hide the annoyance in my voice. Let's have some tasty oranges. That'll make me feel better. And we will focus completely on eating oranges for now until our vitamin deficiency goes away. I think we've got time to chop up another orange. I'm going to roll around like mad when I drop it. There we go. Looks like I almost destroyed the table doing that. What happened there? That's not a bug I've experienced before. I suppose I had one slightly in my Cuptastrophe episode, but that wasn't quite the same. And she's mostly holding course, so that's fine. So we'll leave it like that until noon. Fill up on some water. 20 and 20. We can probably think about throwing our barrels overboard soon. Yep, still holding southeast, so I'm fine with that. Oh, and it looks like we've left the topsail up a touch as well. There we go, that's better. I think that was probably contributing to us bobbing around a touch. And now we are patiently waiting until noon. I wonder if I could just keep eating oranges until this goes away, or if it only works when I have a full hunger bar. I think I've got plenty of oranges to do a little test. You would think like 1.5 full oranges would deal with it. Oh, and now we need protein. Which is actually something I'd never seen. I've only ever seen the cheese logo and the orange logo. I've never seen the protein logo before, so for our next meal, we'll be having sunspot fish. I think I'm going to open the sheet up a touch more, because she is wanting to drift ever so slightly southwards. And we don't want that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a bit of protein. Every day is a school day here in Sailwind. But in our easterly voyage so far, we have consumed nearly enough everything you can consume, except from energy elixir. But I'll keep that for, that's good for an opportunity where, or a situation where you're getting close to land, getting close to getting into port, but you really need to sleep. And you don't want to run the risk of being too far away that you can't drop the anchor somewhere and sleep. But we'll just keep her bobbing along for now until noon, because it's too close. Too close indeed for sleeping, for our danger nap. Seem to be listing a touch, so I'm just using my body weight to balance that out for now. Okay, now we are turning a bit too far eastward. So we'll just do what we're supposed to do, keep a 45 degree, and we'll adjust the jib accordingly. Getting pretty blowy out there. But once we've done our noon reading, we will know roughly what we need to be doing. So it all rests on this noon reading, folks. It's been fun guessing all the way, but for this one, we want it to be as accurate as possible. And the choppy weather is not really going to be our friend for that. So this is a moment of pressure. But we've had quite a few moments of pressure already. So we can handle it, right? Still going eastward, so let the jib out a bit more. And if she still wants to do that, then we'll swap jibs. Right. Let's keep an eye. Already, it's hard to tell with the waves, but I think we are drifting eastward. Just as I say that, it kind of looks like we're drifting southward. Very hard to tell in this weather. Just need a bit of calm seas. I think I'm okay with that for now. Yeah, I think we can handle that. This always happens to me. I'm keeping an eye, and then as soon as I look away and do other stuff, I'll come back, check the compass, and we're heading up to the sky. But after we do the noon reading, it looks like it will be a good time for a big long shipwreck Sean nap. And at that point, depending on how close we are, I believe I'll stick to the plan I said, and I'll cut the episode there. And then in the next one, well guys, we will be hopefully reaching land. I think the first episode, or one of the first ones, was about an hour long. The next two were about 40 minutes each. So we'll say 45, so adding both of those together would be about an hour and a half, so 2.5 hours. And then this one, well, my timer says 1 hour 56 minutes. I believe I'll cut that down to about 45 after I've cut down like all of my naps in this episode. So yeah, we're way beyond 4 hours of actual sailing time. So it really is a commitment. To those of you who make this entire sail in a oneer without saving, etc., I commend you. We are turning eastward, but at this point I'm just going to let her do that. Because we're getting close to noon reading time. So, facing southward, sundial out. Looks to me like we are between 32 and 33, but I'll check the latitude better once I've checked our longitude. And we have crossed the centre line now at about 16 minutes there. So that would tell me we are at 4 degrees. 4 degrees long, and yeah, that looks between 32 and 33, maybe a touch closer to 33. So 4 degrees and a touch closer to 33 would put us, so 4 degrees is here, and a touch closer to 33. Well, if that's to be believed, we're not too far, are we? So I'm not too sure how close you need to be to Dragon Cliffs to see it, but I want to be looking just east of southeast. So maybe a bit hopeful here, but just east of southeast. So we want to be looking in this direction before we spot anything. But that's kind of the direction we want to be sailing in as well. Can we get away with that? Because the wind is coming pretty much south. So, Well, folks, I'm going to leave that debate for the next episode. So I will take a big long shipwreck Sean nap after this, and then I think I will try and get as close to southward as possible. And in fact, I lied to you. We're going to see if we can close haul it to south-southeast. Oh, we might just get away with that. It'll be a long final stretch. Right, is she moving? We'll obviously just be losing a bit of speed. But yeah, folks, I'm going to leave it on a to be continued. So to those of you who made it this far, thank you very kindly. And I'll see you guys in the next episode, where hopefully we will start to see some land. So as always, I have been Shipwreck Sean. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheerio.